gift you. Am I going to start this same way every single time? Maybe. Anyway, hi, my name is Del, and you are watching the Morgado Show Unleashed. Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to be back. My show will be live on realityradio101.com next Monday at 9 p.m. So hopefully you can all tune in to that. It would be great to see you and hear from you. If you like what you see, hopefully you'll listen to my show as well. I'm back, and as you'll notice, it's a little brighter. The last time I did this video, it was a little dark, and it was shot in my living room, and not really the best lighting, so I figured I would transfer it over here into the kitchen where it's a little brighter. Still got the TV in the background with my logo, and now there's no silly reflection like the last time. Again, the last time was the first shot. I was trying to figure out if I was going to be able to pull this off, and I just wanted to fool around. It was merely a test. And I wasn't really aiming for quality, I wasn't aiming for any of that kind of stuff. So all I wanted to do was just basically start off a video, at least have one in my pocket. Now this is number 2, welcome. And today I've got quite a few things I want to talk about, and I want to do a few movie reviews. For those of you who've been on my Facebook page, facebook.com/DFH Studios or Del Morgado Show, you'll see that every now and then I like to review movies. I haven't done that in quite some time, only because I have been actually trying to watch movies to see if, which ones are good, which ones are bad. When it comes to movies, though, I don't really feel like killing money to go to the theater, and I'm a very patient guy, and I usually wait it out until, a few months later, and I'll watch it when I get a chance, and, this way, I don't feel like I have to rush to a theater to go watch a film. I'd rather watch it in the comfort of my own home, because then this way you don't have to worry about bathroom breaks. You can pause the movie, go take a shit, take a piss, whatever you gotta do, right? So, what I do is a few months later, even a few years later, I'll finally get around to watching certain movies that I've wanted to watch for many years. Case in point, you're gonna see a bunch of them today. I actually have a few movies that I'd like to review for you guys. If you haven't seen them yet, it's not a big deal, but if you have seen them already, you'll probably agree with me or disagree with me. Again, this is a review. Much like Star Wars, for example, because last episode I talked about Star Wars. I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum this time. But basically, we all have our own opinions. Some people might love the film, other people may hate the film. I'm a gigantic Star Wars fan, so obviously I look at it for different reasons. Some people have been kind of going a little overboard with this, but at the same time it's within reason. I recently took my sister to go watch episode 8, and I even said to her, I go, just don't let my opinion of the film detour you from actually watching it. You could actually enjoy the film, which she did, right? A lot of people like Star Wars for different reasons. The funniest part was when we're driving back home, because this happened last night, I turned to my sister and she asked me for my opinion. I go, you sure you want my opinion? Because after you hear my opinion, you might not look at episode 8 the same again. And she said, yeah, of course I want your opinion. I don't think it changed her opinion because she still liked the film. My biggest argument with episode 8, and I think a lot of people probably just go watch the film to be entertained. That's pretty much what it's all about. To me, because I'm a little older and I saw these movies as an adult as opposed to watching them as a kid, I expect certain things. And when it doesn't deliver on certain things, you're a little upset about it and you take it out. You're hoping for a certain story, and the story doesn't meet up to your standards or expectations, and obviously you're not going to like the movie. I'm going to make a few reviews on certain films. You might not agree with me. If you haven't seen the film, you'll be like, well, you know what, let me go check it out anyways. The reason I give you these reviews is to let you know my thoughts on these films. I try as hard as possible not to give away spoilers, only because of the fact that you might not have seen the film. But then again, there are movies that are really not worth watching. They'll be on my next show because I have a couple of other movies that I've seen since these. These have been sitting around for a while, and I was supposed to review them quite a while back. So I'm not going to waste any time. I don't really know how long this is going to go. I've actually got a timer set up, and you'll see me fiddling on my phone. Also, mentioning my phone real quickly, I'm actually set up to accept phone calls. And I've also got this cable over here attached, and I'm actually going to be able to accept phone calls. I was actually going to try it out right now, but I don't think my lady Shannon is available because I wanted to test it out with her and kind of do something funny with it. But I don't think she's ready for that, so I'm not going to bust her balls right now. So I'll save it for the next time. I'll worry about phone calls at that point. But I do have a little speaker set up here so you guys can actually hear phone calls. So I can actually make phone calls, receive phone calls. I'm usually going to announce this on my social medias. I'll let you guys know when I'm filming. So this way, if you want to be a part of the show, you'll know, hey, in that next hour or half hour or 45 minutes, however long he films, I've got a chance to call in. You've also got a chance to email in. Now, I did put a post online, so I'm just going to look real quick to see if I did receive any emails. No, I didn't. I said if there were anybody that wanted to contact during the show, they could email me at dfhstudios@hotmail.com, and I would be willing to bring up these subjects on the show. Unleashed, of course. And I could bring them up on my regular radio show as well. Anyways, okay, let's get into this whole movie thing, and let's see what's first up on the list. I don't even know what the hell I put up here. I have seen these movies recently, so I just want to give you sort of a review. I usually go based out of 5. I rate it out of 5. So if I give the film a 5-star, obviously it's a good movie. If I give it a 4-star, 3-star, whatever, it all depends on what rating I usually give it. So let's have some fun, shall we? Now, again, I gotta mention this real quick. As I said in the last video, this is a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't bring up on my regular radio show. Only because of the fact that a lot of times I'd rather talk about other stuff on my radio show because there's sometimes current events or something weird that comes up or something strange, something funny that I might see that day. I like doing that live. When it comes to this sort of thing, I'm going to try to find topics that are up to date, and I'm also going to try to do stuff that's interesting to hopefully you'll enjoy. And that's kind of the whole idea. Okay, I've already said enough. Let's move on. Let's get the first movie up on the screen, American Hustle. This movie stars Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Jennifer Lawrence. I wanted to see this film. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bradley Cooper. I love the movie that he did called, hold on, I'm trying to remember right now, not Chef, Burnt. I love that film. Incredible movie. If you get a chance to watch that, 5 stars all the way. I watched that movie over and over and over again. This is more of a period piece. It looked like it was done in like the 70s or 80s, or late 70s, 80s. I mean, my personal opinion, the name pretty much says it all. American Hustle, the movie is basically, it's just one big hustle. You know, I mean, you watch the movie and you're sort of like, okay, where's this going? There are a couple of slow points in there. The thing that freaked me out the most about this movie, and I'm sure, I don't know, well, I'm hoping that it would probably freak out other people. I'm going to give you a little background here. Gangs of New York with Daniel Day-Lewis, his hair really bothered me. The entire fucking movie, his hair bothered me. It was a huge distraction, and I wasn't really able to enjoy the film, and I really don't like the movie. I mean, a lot of people do, a lot of people argue with me, Gangs of New York is amazing. I didn't like that movie one bit. Same thing with this situation, because Christian Bale, I don't know if you can really tell from that distance, if you know the movie, if you've seen the movie, his hair, like it's like a wig, or actually it's his hair, but he kind of does a weird comb over. It looks really, really weird and gross, and it's almost like, dude, shave your fucking head. Like, speaking of which, you might see me with my head shaved next time. My hair is getting out of control. Anyway, but when that was a big distraction for me. I understand what they were trying to do, and also Bradley Cooper's hair kind of freaked me out a little bit too. I'm not used to seeing him like that, but I do have to say, Amy Adams looked fantastic in the movie. So on a star rating, not really my bag not really my bag. There you go. I'll say it that way. It's not really my bag. It's not really my type of film. I'd give it a 4 because it is entertaining. It is definitely watchable. And it's good. And it's not a bad movie. Not at all. I can't really say that it was a bad film. It wasn't. I mean, the acting was great. The story was actually pretty good. Again, not my bag of tea. That's what I meant to say. Not my bag of tea. But a good movie. Okay? So if you're willing to watch it, I'm not really into period pieces, I should mention that right now. But also, I mean, Christian Bale's hair just, dude, it was a total distraction, and I wasn't really able to enjoy the movie. Who knows? You're probably watching this right now, and you're distracted by something in the background that's probably like, you keep staring at it, and you're like, oh, geez, like, get rid of that, you know, or my hair. You could be the same thing. You'd be like, oh, God, dude, like, get rid of your hair, shave your head. And that was kind of how I felt about Christian Bale. Anyway, I already mentioned that already, so let's go on to the next movie. Here we go. Next movie, Kingsman. I didn't even know that this movie existed. I know it sounds really bad. This movie came out a few years ago. I don't know exactly when, but it's starring Colin Firth and Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Caine, and I forget the name of this gentleman here. I love that guy. That guy was awesome. Again, I forget his name. It's gonna bug me. I'll probably look it up afterwards if you guys really want to know. But Kingsman reminded me of a modernized James Bond film, but it was set up a little bit more different, and I really liked the way they did it. Sam Jackson was fantastic as always in this movie, and it was just a well played actor or well played character, and he did a great job. Which of course Sam Jackson he never lets you down. But the way that they set this up, it was very, very well done. Obviously, the way I'm gonna give it a 5 because it was just a fun film, very entertaining. I actually enjoyed watching it, and I got right into it. I love the premise. I love the idea of how they set up the characters, and I really like Colin Firth. For those of you who have never seen the movie Eddie the Eagle, great film. You watch him in that movie, and then you watch him in Kingsman, completely different. I mean, in that movie, he was sort of a slow, I wouldn't say retarded, but he was sort of a slow guy. Had sort of a weird look, the glasses, the whole bit. But here, he looks cool. And I didn't even recognize him at first because I've seen Eddie the Eagle quite a few times. 5 stars, by the way, Eddie the Eagle. Amazing movie. So, this movie was top-notch. Again, it reminded me of Bond. But it wasn't Bond, obviously, because the Bond films have their own sort of... But I would have liked to see some of the stuff in this film, in the Bond films, a lot like John Wick 2. And John Wick, of course. Love those 2 movies, by the way. I never thought they'd be able to pull off a sequel just as good as the first, but they did with John Wick. And I would have loved to see... There's a particular scene in John Wick 2, if you haven't seen it, very, very Bond-like scene, and I wished that they would do something like that in the Bond films. And I'm talking about the scene where he's selecting the guns. That's not really saying anything. But when he's picking out the guns, that's kind of what I wish they would put in a Bond film, if you guys are listening. MGM, it's not too late. You can do something cool. So I knew that this one had just come out, going back to Kingsman, and the second one had come out, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch the first one to see the second one. And the next movie is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Not crazy for, what's her name, Julianne Moore. I'm not the biggest fan of her. If anything, the movie could have been just fine without her. Mind you, her character was good. Very good. I actually enjoyed her character quite a bit. Was it better than the second film? Now that's the real question. I'd say, just like John Wick 2, equal. I wouldn't say better, but equal to the first. John Wick 2 was equal to the first. Amazing, both movies were great. 5 stars again for this movie. This one was just as good, and I mean, just the acting was great. The addition of Channing Tatum is kind of, I'm not really the biggest Channing Tatum fan in the world. I mean, in my personal opinion, G.I. Joe was shit. Not just because of him, bad writing. But, I mean, I'm not the biggest Channing Tatum fan, which you might be shocked when I review one of the other films afterwards. But Kingsman 2, or Kingsman: The Golden Circle, very good film as well. Again, just as good as the first one, just as entertaining, just as fun. A little different, but still really good. So, there you go. So that one's also a number 5. Let's see what's next on... Oh, see what I mean? I've seen the first one, Magic Mike, the first film. Not the original one with Patrick Swayze. I never saw that one. I think there's an actual movie with Patrick Swayze. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I did see the first one. Kevin Nash did not belong in the first film, nor did he belong in the second film. The thing that I liked about the second film was it was a little more less guys dancing. There were guys dancing, which obviously it's almost like, I mean, I'm a dude, right? So, that to me just doesn't appeal to me. Women obviously would love this movie, but it wasn't, I think the story was a little better in the first one than it was in the second one. The second one still had a decent story, don't get me wrong, and I will give this one a 4 out of a 5. I didn't want to give it a 5, but then again, I didn't really give the first one a 5 either. I don't think I did. I mean, I could always double check on Facebook to see if I did. But Magic Mike 2 was actually pretty entertaining. There's a few scenes actually in this movie that I actually burst out laughing. That it was that funny. Like, I couldn't believe it. Because normally with these kind of movies, you're just sitting there groaning. You're like, shit, I wish I had his body. Or, oh God, another male dance. But this one was actually cleverly done. And I really appreciated it. I watched it and I thought it was very, very good. 4 stars guaranteed. Worth the watch. If you like watching guys dancing, obviously ladies out there, you're going to love this movie, but it doesn't have as much as the first one. So if you like the guys gyrating and the guys moving and doing their sexy dances, you'll get more of that in the first film. Obviously Kevin Nash just didn't belong in this movie. And then there's also this guy here, I forget his name right now, but he's playing, not Deadpool, the character, shit. See, all the DC fans are going to kill me for this one. But he made an appearance, anyway. Shit, Deadshot? Is it Deadshot? I think it's Deadshot. He was awesome. I really like him. He's funny as hell. And, I mean, there was a lot of things that I really liked about the movies. Again, the movie. There was a special cameo by 2 actresses, which I didn't even realize was them. And then I was like, holy shit. I'm not going to say who they were. Again, I don't like giving away anything. Watch the film. It's worth the watch. Let's go to the next one here. I don't want to babble. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Of all the movies. Oh, yeah, I should warn you, I swear. Too late. Oh, God. All right, anyways. I forgot my train of thought on the other point. I didn't want to watch this movie. I like I like Roger Corman's version better than I like this one. which says a lot. But I did like the other version. The only problem I had was with Thing in the background. Obviously, I'm sure you can see Fantastic Four. I didn't want to watch it, but something inside me told me I had to. I don't know why. Everybody ripped this movie apart, and now I 100% understand why they tore this movie apart. It's bad. Okay? The only thing that saved this film, okay, was the occasional special effect with Thing. Couldn't stand his face, but I liked how they did the rocks and how, the special effects were actually pretty good. Of course, with the exception of his face. But the one thing that I was upset about the original time I saw the trailer was Michael B. Jordan, who played Human Torch. Loved him in Apollo. Loved that movie. That movie's fucking incredible. Okay? Probably, I love the Rocky series. I'm a huge fan of the Rocky series, but Apollo was unbelievable, and it was because of Michael B. Jordan. Incredible actor. He saved this movie. Okay? Everybody else, I'm sorry to say, wasn't impressed. And I forget her name right now, but I don't know her name, and I really couldn't care less. Her hair. Again, same thing I was talking about with, oh, Jesus Christ, what's his name? Hold on. I forget his name. Christian Bale. Same idea with her hair. Because there were a lot of scenes where you see her hair, and it looked like a bloody wig. And it's distracting. The story was pure garbage. Thank God Disney now owns Fantastic Four. Mind you, after seeing Star Wars, I don't know what to expect from Disney anymore. I hope, fingers crossed, they haven't screwed up Marvel too badly. Actually, they haven't screwed it up at all. I can't wait to see Avengers Infinity War. But, again, going back to this, I'm being nice giving this a 1 star. I'm being very, very nice. I don't like giving 0 stars, but 1 is actually being very, very nice. Okay, Yeah, I didn't like it. You know, I let it slide. Okay, fine. Adopted, I get it. You know, the brother and sister adopted, no problem. I let it slide because I like Michael B. Jordan. Again, he was the only good thing about this movie, Michael B. Jordan. I kid you not. That's how bad it was. Hold on one second. I mean, last time I'm not going to get a beer because beer sometimes make me tired, which is 1 second. Hold on. Oh, I needed that. Like the last time, my throat got a little dry after doing this for a while. So anyways, I should mention that real quick. I recently went to the dentist because one of my teeth in the back broke. And I gotta say this, my tooth was pretty much, it was broken completely. I gotta give it to my dentist for fixing this thing. Looks brand new. I mean, those guys, I don't hate to say it, but I'm very happy to say that they are true artists. Because the magic that he did on my tooth, it looks like a brand new tooth, as if nothing happened. And the funny thing is, because I grew up in the early 80s, they used to give us fillings, metal fillings. I've had that in my mouth since I was a kid, since I was like 12, 13. It was a relief to see that thing go. It's like the metal filling was taken out and I was just so happy. And I was like, oh my God, thank God they finally got rid of that metal filling. And it looks like a brand new tooth. Thank you so much. It's the clinic on Dundas Street West in Toronto, Ontario. Incredible dentist. I couldn't believe the work that they did. And yes, they numb me because I'm such a bitch when it comes to go to the dentist. I hate going to the dentist. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't gone to the dentist in years. And when they looked at my record, it was interesting because they saw how long it had been since I've been there. Not proud of that, but then again, I don't like going to the dentist, right? Anyway. Okay, so let's continue on. So Fantastic Four, crap. All right. Oh, The Karate Kid. Hold on, I think there's another one here. Yeah, that's the last one for today. So, it's kind of like the whole Star Wars thing and how I went off on the Star Wars thing. Okay, let me just clarify this before I even start with this version. I love the original Karate Kid films. Love them to death. Ralph Macchio and, of course, Pat Morita. Loved it. Completely loved it. When I heard about this one years ago coming out, I honestly did not want to see it. I was just like, oh shit, here we go. Another fucking remake, and I hate remakes. Okay, I've said this many, many times. Hate remakes. But then I decided, fuck it, I was in the right mood. I said, let me check out the Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan version. So Jackie Chan, sort of similar characters, obviously, to the original Karate Kid. The main scenes, I'm sorry, I gotta say this, I hope a lot of you have seen this. The main scenes, the confrontation scenes, were pretty similar to the original film. In other words, they took the exact dialogue in Asian and took it directly from the original film, which kind of bothered me, because I was even reciting the lines as they're saying it in subtitles. The other thing I didn't, well actually, hold on. I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong, I really, really, really enjoyed the film. Back of my head, though, I'm thinking, wait a second. Because I remember Pat Morita, when there was that scene in the original Karate Kid where all the guys were attacking Daniel, and he pretty much took care of them. So because obviously I had seen parallels to the original, I'm like, are they going to have a scene with Jackie Chan kicking the shit out of these kids? That's kind of fucked up. But then again, I forgot, it's Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is brilliant when he fights. He manages to make fights in a way that he can, push some guy's hand out of the way and it'll knock another person out. So I'm sitting there going, oh shit, this is going to be good. And I wanted to see it because of Jackie Chan, let's face it. I'm not the biggest Jaden Smith fan, only because of Oblivion with Will Smith. Didn't like that movie whatsoever. Just badly written. Badly written. But this movie, I really, really enjoyed. I thoroughly liked it. Why? Because I went in not thinking it was a Karate Kid film. I went in, watched it as if it was a brand new movie, which I should have done with a lot of remakes. For example, RoboCop. God, one of the worst fucking pieces of shit I've ever seen. If they had called it something else, I wouldn't have minded that movie whatsoever. But because they called it RoboCop, That is what pissed off a lot of fucking people. Anyways, going back to the Karate Kid. The thing that I really enjoyed about this version as opposed to the original, the story was very well executed. It was very well executed. Now, here's the scary part. When I originally saw it, I saw the edited version that was done. I don't know where it came from, but I had a tough time finding this freaking movie. But I had a version that had all the fight scenes and all the bully scenes edited out. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is this? I'm not feeling for this kid at all. Because I'm not seeing the anguish. And that's kind of what makes Karate Kid what made it in the original film. You feel for Daniel, you know, or Ralph Macchio. But you really feel for him because he's getting beaten up. Mind you, he did a couple of stupid things himself. I'm gonna flat out say that. And there's actually a video on YouTube where it says that Daniel was the real bully and Johnny was the innocent. Hilarious video. If I can find it, I'll find it for you guys. But that's the last movie for this show. Anyways, but Karate Kid was very well done. I give that movie a 5 stars. No doubt in my mind. Well executed. No silly crane technique. But they did do something different. And I gotta say, what they did... mind blown, okay? Well written, well directed, well done. I was so happy to see that movie, and I was actually upset because I couldn't get a good copy of it, and I kept looking. Finally, after 14 versions, I finally found a decent copy, and I was so happy when I saw it. Anyways, so those are the movies that I wanted to review this time around. I do want to mention something else, one more thing, and I don't have a photo of it right now, and I sort of didn't really plan on talking about this until just now. And I know I would never mention this on my show because certain reasons. I'll tell you. Okay, I'm not even gonna. I might as well just tell you. Shania Twain, huge fan of Shania Twain. She is the only artist I've ever gone to see in concert. Okay, the only artist. I've never gone to any other concerts. Actually, I've gone to a few recently, but not because I really wanted to, but because I sort of felt I had to because I knew some of the people that were going to be there. But Shania Twain, her new album, can't even remember what the hell it's called right now, not impressed. I'm sorry. I am not impressed with her new album. I like the first song that they released. I forget the name right now. But the album itself, dry. Very dry, very sad. There isn't really any upbeat songs in that album. If you're thinking about buying the album, don't. Okay, someone was going to buy it for me, and I said, no. Let me look online first and see if it sounds any good, and I'll let you know if it's worth getting. I'm sorry, the songs were just so boring. Big difference between her original albums. Dude, I liked her first albums, like her very, very first albums, way before Come On Over, way before The Woman in Me. I loved her original stuff, because she had a lot more upbeat tunes. This one was dry. I'm sitting there listening to this album, and I'm like, what happened? You know, like, I've never really felt that way with an artist. Shania's my favorite. Hell, she's my hall pass. I'm kidding. Actually, no, I'm not. No. I still love Shania Twain, always will. She's gorgeous, in my opinion. But the album just... not impressed. Not impressed at all. Didn't like it whatsoever. Anyways, I think I've babbled on for long enough. This is not like my show. My show, I'm sort of... you know, I'm given that time frame. With this is more just for fun. If there's stuff that I normally wouldn't bring up on my show, I'll talk about it here. This is not the end-all, be-all. I'm not going to do an hour and a half for this. There's no way. I'm at home. I'm chilling out, and I'm getting thirsty just talking because my throat's getting dry. So hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Plus, I'm right underneath the heater. That doesn't help. But, I mean, there you go. So this is my second episode of Unleashed. You pretty much get an idea. I mean, I did talk about movies, and I talked about a few little other things here and there. But I will bring up more movie reviews. I'll start doing them here as opposed to doing them on my show. A lot of times we briefly mention them on the show. You know, we kind of say, oh, I liked it or I didn't like it. But this one gives me a chance to actually talk about it. I mean, obviously, I did bring up one or two of these on the live show. But I didn't really go into depth because normally, again, I'm distracted a lot. I would like to try this phone thing, and I definitely want to see if this will actually work, because I think this would be kind of a cool idea to be able to talk to you guys if you ever want to. And if you want my email or my number, so you can call me during the show, if you guys are looking at this through Patreon or OnlyFans, or if you somehow find it on YouTube, which I don't think you'll be able to because I put it on an unlisted link, contact me at dfhstudios@hotmail.com. I can give you my personal number if you really want to be a part of the show. If you want to email me, again, dfhstudios@hotmail.com. I will answer any emails that you have here on the show. I will post when I am doing the show so that you guys know exactly what time I'm recording. Sorry, I was just checking to see the emails to see if anyone sent emails, just in case. You never know. I did tell people I was filming, so... But, I mean, I hope that in time people are willing to call in and people are willing to participate in this, because a lot of times it's a little difficult to just babble by myself. And I'm glad that I have Gary Labar with me, and of course I have Hycomantic with me on the Hycadelic Show, because it makes the show a lot easier when you have somebody to talk to, as opposed to just being on your own and just babbling for an hour and a half. Sometimes that could be a little difficult. I mean, I can do it half an hour, no problem. I've been babbling for a while now. I think I'm at the half hour, close to half hour mark. But when it comes to being on, you know, on the radio, it's good to have somebody in the studio with you, because then you can talk. And that's why the shows are usually very different. If you hear this show as opposed to the Del Morgado Show, night and day. It's completely different. If you listen to the Hycadelic Show versus the Del Morgado Show, again, completely different. And that's kind of what I'm trying to aim. I want different shows. I don't want to have the same thing over and over again, because you guys are probably going to get sick of it. I want something that's going to bring you guys entertainment and keep you entertained. Obviously. You listen to this show. Let's say you prefer to watch Unleashed as opposed to the Del Morgado Show. Cool. I'll keep doing Unleashed. I didn't get any feedback from the first one, but I figured, okay, you know, it's only the first one. Obviously, I got to kind of build a little bit of momentum here, and hopefully more and more people will catch on and see it, or pass it on. That would be great. But that's kind of my goal. I want to do something different. Some of you may be strictly fans of the Del Morgado Show and be like, no, I'm just going to listen to him live on the air. He's funnier, or he's wilder, if you want to call it wilder. I could be a little bit wilder doing this, but I mean, at the same time, I sort of want this to be what my show isn't, and that is sort of an informative, doesn't have to be funny. I'm just being myself. Sorry? Okay, maybe I am bringing some elements. But again, the Hycadelic Show, again, completely different. Hyco and I, we have a different chemistry. And that's kind of why I like doing the different shows, because it gives me variety. You know, you may tune into one, you may not like the other. You may love the other one, like that one, and then you'll be like, oh, yeah, I can sort of tolerate that one, but I'm not really a big fan. Again, going back to what I'm saying, it's good to have variety. So for those of you that like Unleashed, and you want to contact me, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to call into the show, I'd be more than happy to give you my number. I mean, I'm unlimited in Canada. Obviously, if it's in the States or anything like that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but then again, there's always email. So I'm not going to give out my number here, but I will give it to you in private through dfhstudios@hotmail.com. Email me, and we can take this a little bit further. I would love to make phone calls, and again, I wanted to try, but I don't think my lady is awake. She hasn't texted me back, because I was going to try to call her to see if this little speaker system actually worked really well, and if it or if it didn't work at all. I mean, I could try it now, but I'd rather her prepared, because I don't want to get her answering machine, because she's got her last name. Well, actually, I say her last name all the time. But anyways, I don't want to bother calling the answering machine. I'd rather get a live voice so you can hear how it's going to sound. And I want to hear how it's going to sound to see if it's actually worth getting phone calls. Again, email dfhstudios@hotmail.com. Okay, I've babbled enough. I think I'm almost at the half-hour mark, to be honest with you. So, I've already said what I had to say. I reviewed what I wanted to review. I talked about the Shania Twain album. I talked about all these movies. I briefly touched on Star Wars. So I did bring you a couple things this time around. Not just one particular subject, which obviously I want to keep doing different things every single show. I might do more reviews the next time. But I'm not going to always have movie reviews. There's going to be other stuff that I'll want to talk about, obviously, which is I'm babbling about right now. See, again, I have no problem talking. It's just, sometimes it's easier to have somebody with you so you can have a conversation. So anyways, okay. I'm going to end like I normally end. I don't have the music, and I didn't have the music in the last video, so I'm just going to try to remember it off book. I'm going to try to remember it and try to go a little quicker this time. But it seems all good things must come to an end. My ass will be back Monday, 9 p.m. for the Del Morgado Show. Hope you tune in, realityradio101.com. If you'd like to contact me, feel free at dfhstudios@hotmail.com. If you want to check out my website, it's www.dfhstudios.com. You can also join my Facebook pages for funny pics and constant updates. Facebook.com/dfhstudios and /Del Morgado Show. And I'm also on Twitter at Del Morgado Show and at DFH Studios. You got lots of options to contact me. Feel free. I want to thank, see, I'm remembering the script this time. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Yo, good you. Yo, fuck you. Anyway, for tuning in, listening, whatever means, whatever way you found me, I want to thank you for taking the time and checking me out and hearing me or watching me or listening to me. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here and tuning in. Till next time, my name is Del Morgado. That's a reference from many years ago. And you've been listening to The Del Morgado Show or watching The Del Morgado Show Unleashed right here on Patreon and OnlyFans. Good night, everybody, or good day, or good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Whatever. See you later.